In the shadows of the UEE Navy's declining effectiveness, Drake Interplanetary emerged like a rogue star in the spacecraft manufacturing galaxy. While the military brass debated tactical strategies in their pristine offices, frontier settlers faced real threats with inadequate protection, creating the perfect storm for John Dredge's revolutionary vision. Affordable modular ships that put power back in the hands of independent operators. The AS-1 Cutlass, born from the Vanguard project's ashes, wasn't just a ship. It was a statement that frontier defense shouldn't be dictated by core world politics or corporate monopolies. When the UEE Navy rejected the Cutlass in favor of Aegis's more conventional Wildcat, they unwittingly launched Drake into the arms of militia ships operators across the Magnus system. The Cutlass's combination of combat capability and cargo transport flexibility made it an instant hit with those who couldn't afford specialized fleets, and Drake's reputation for innovation in affordable spacecraft spread faster than a quantum drive. Security forces on distant outposts, who'd been begging the Navy for support, suddenly found a solution that didn't require UEE approval, and within a year, Drake's distinctive angular silhouette became the unofficial emblem of self-reliance in the frontier. The decision to establish headquarters in Magnus raised eyebrows across the space economy. Why choose a system known for its failed military initiatives and outlaw reputation? But Drake's leadership saw beyond the controversy, recognizing the abandoned shipbuilding infrastructure as perfect for their modular design philosophy. As exploration vessels carried news of Drake's affordable spacecraft to the stars, the company's distinctive silhouette became as recognizable as the UEE Navy's own flagship, though military officials were quick to distance themselves from what they derisively called militia ships in factory paint. The Cutlass Black's popularity soared among independent operators who couldn't afford the premium prices of companies that supplied the UEE contracts. But this success came with a shadow. Critics pointed to piracy accusations whenever Cutlass ships appeared in security reports, conveniently ignoring that the same versatility making them attractive to outlaws also made them indispensable for frontier defense. Drake's response was brilliant market diversification, the blue variant with specialized holding cells for bounty hunters and security forces, and the red configured for emergency medical response, showcasing the incredible adaptability of their modular design approach that competitors struggled to match. When Drake unveiled the Caterpillar at DefenseCon, even their harshest critics couldn't deny the genius behind its modular sections that could transform from cargo transport to salvage operations with a few hours of work. Independent operators, who had built their reputations on Drake's earlier models, flooded the exhibition halls, eager to see how the company had evolved beyond the combat-focused designs that first put them on the star charts. The innovation wasn't just in the ship's adaptability. It was in how Drake had studied the actual needs of frontier colonists who couldn't afford specialized fleets like those maintained by the UEE Navy. The Dragonfly's introduction proved Drake's commitment to the space economy extended beyond big-ticket vessels, giving Cutlass and Caterpillar owners extended reach on planetary surfaces without sacrificing cargo capacity. What truly shocked industry observers was when Xi'an engineers, known for their technological superiority, purchased several models for study, eventually producing their own Nox variant with begrudging respect for human ingenuity. Meanwhile, the Buccaneers' appearance in skirmishes throughout the Magnus system demonstrated that Drake hadn't forgotten its roots in frontier defense, giving independent security forces a fighter that could outgun ships twice its size through sheer firepower, rather than complicated systems. The Vulture sliced through conventional salvage methodology like a laser through hull plating, proving once again that Drake Interplanetary understood the frontier economy better than corporations with UEE Navy contracts. Single-pilot operations became the new standard in salvage efficiency, much to the dismay of larger outfits who'd invested millions in crew-heavy recovery vessels. Independent operators flocked to Drake dealerships across 9 systems, eager to claim their piece of the lucrative scrap market that flourished in the wake of territorial skirmishes and abandoned exploration missions gone wrong. Meanwhile, the Herald redefined data running in ways that made both corporate security forces and information brokers reconsider their entire strategy. Its revolutionary encryption suite turned even rookie pilots into valuable couriers, capable of transporting sensitive information through contested space where larger ships would draw unwanted attention. By the late 29th century, Drake's expansion Beyond its original militia ships market had created an entire ecosystem of affordable spacecraft that supported everything from cargo transport to exploration, all without the inflated prices that came with the prestige of Earth or Terra manufacturing, much to the frustration of UEE-approved contractors watching their market share diminish. The release of Bent Cutlass sent shockwaves through Drake's boardroom and beyond, as the documentary's thinly veiled accusations of knowingly selling to pirates threatened to undo years of reputation building. The controversy peaked when UEE security forces raided 3 dealerships in the Magnus system, confiscating flight records under the pretense of tracking outlaw activity. But everyone in the frontier defense community recognized the political theater for what it was, an attempt to discredit the most successful independent spacecraft manufacturer outside of UEE control. Drake's response was as pragmatic as their ship designs, the accelerated development of the Cutlass Red. What military analysts didn't predict was the Cassidy disaster, when a mining colony's atmospheric processors failed, leaving thousands gasping
for air in rapidly deteriorating conditions. The UEE Navy's response vessels were days away, but a fleet of privately owned Cutlass Reds arrived within hours, their modular medical bays saving countless lives before official help arrived.
6 months later, despite continuing piracy accusations and public denouncements, the UEE quietly placed an order for 300 Reds, making them the first Drake ships to officially join the military fleet, though officials insisted they would serve only in support roles rather than frontier defense operations, a distinction that made independent operators across human space roll their eyes knowingly. The partnership between Drake Interplanetary and legendary ship modifier Cousin Crow stunned the aerospace community, not because of the technical innovation, but because everyone assumed the notorious former smuggler would be working with underground operations rather than a legitimate manufacturer. What followed was perhaps the most ambitious project in Drake's controversial history, the Kraken Privateer, a vessel so massive it simultaneously functioned as carrier, marketplace, and mobile outpost. While the UEE Navy dismissed it as a shopping mall with engines, independent operators across the frontier immediately recognized its potential to reshape the space economy. DefenseCon became Drake's annual statement of defiance after being conspicuously excluded from Invictus Launch Week, the UEE's prestigious military showcase. While corporations with government contracts displayed their latest innovations behind security cordons and invitation-only presentations, Drake threw open its hangar doors to anyone with an interest in affordable spacecraft. The contrast couldn't have been clearer. One event catered to admirals and politicians, the other to the actual pilots and independent security forces who navigated dangerous territories daily. Drake's message resonated through every demo flight and technical presentation. We build for the people who actually need these ships, not for those who just sign the procurement orders. The Corsair's unveiling at DefenseCon sent ripples of excitement and concern throughout the UEE, especially among exploration vessel manufacturers who'd grown complacent in their market dominance. Unlike competitors whose designs emphasized scientific equipment over self-preservation, Drake's heavily armed exploration ship acknowledged the frontier's harsh realities, where discovery and danger walked hand in hand. Independent operators who'd cut their teeth on the Cutlass line gazed in awe at the Corsair's impressive silhouette, recognizing that Drake had once again translated their frontier defense needs into a vessel that could push humanity's boundaries without becoming easy prey. The Ironclad represented Drake's boldest challenge to established military contractors, a massive hauler whose assault variant could deploy significant combat forces without sacrificing cargo transport capabilities. UEE Navy analysts dismissed it as oversized and underspecialized, yet militia ships from the outer systems began pooling resources to acquire these versatile behemoths for their defense fleets. Meanwhile, the humble mule and entry-level cutter demonstrated Drake's commitment to innovation at every scale of the space economy, ensuring that their distinctive angular aesthetic appeared in hangars belonging to everyone from beginning salvage operators to established security forces, all united by the need for affordable spacecraft that prioritized function over luxury. Across countless star systems, from the orderly shipyards of Earth to the chaotic outposts of the Magnus system, the debate over Drake Interplanetary continues with the same intensity as discussions about frontier defense policy. Military historians point to piracy accusations and outlaw reputation as evidence that Drake knowingly undermined UEE authority, while independent operators counter that Drake's affordable spacecraft represented the democratization of space travel and security. What's undeniable is that Drake's modular design philosophy forever changed how humanity approached spacecraft manufacturing, proving that versatility could compete with specialization. The distinctive angular silhouette of a cutlass or caterpillar against the void tells a story about human ingenuity that transcends controversy, a testament to innovation born from necessity rather than luxury. As new generations of pilots take control of Drake vessels, from salvage operations in forgotten sectors to data running through contested territories, they participate in a legacy that challenged not just how ships were built, but who had the right to defend themselves in humanity's expanding frontier. Whether celebrated as champions of independent security forces or condemned as enablers of piracy, Drake Interplanetary's influence on the space economy remains as indelible as the stars themselves. Now you know the real story behind the most misunderstood manufacturer in the galaxy. But this is just the beginning of our journey through the untold histories of the Star Citizen universe. Did Drake Interplanetary revolutionize spacecraft design, or did they simply profit from chaos in the frontier? Are they heroes of the independent operators or enablers of piracy? I want to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Looking at that thumbnail on your screen right now, have you ever wondered how Aegis Dynamics transformed from a failing military contractor into the UEE Navy's favorite supplier? The answer involves corporate espionage, sabotage, and a conspiracy that reaches all the way to the highest levels of government. Their rivalry with Drake Interplanetary is just one small part of a story that will completely change how you see the balance of power in human space. Click now to discover what they've been hiding from you for decades. If you enjoyed learning about Drake's controversial journey through the space economy, hit that subscribe button and activate notifications so you don't miss our next deep dive into the hidden forces shaping humanity's expansion among the stars. The truth about frontier defense and the corporations controlling our security is just getting started.